Welcome to the Wakefield Doctrine, the Theory of Clark, Scots, and Rogers, special second part edition of Video Thursday. Hey, here's a surprise. Police here. Let's just go down with the camera. Screw 'em. Okay, as I was saying, special treat here. Hey, see these buildings where we are? This is a rare visit to Wakefield during the daytime. We do this drive every Saturday night for the Wakefield Doctrine Saturday Night Call-In, which you should do if you're in the local calling area. But this is Wakefield, actually. That was Peacedale. We're going to come into Wakefield, so we'll do our Q&A or discussional post while driving through Wakefield for as long as we can. All right. So we've got two topics in general. Janae, if you see in the comments from yesterday, Wednesday, she had a couple of questions, and they ended up, or the answer to her questions brings out the concept of manifesting. We were talking about Scotian relatives in competition. Actually, that was the point. Scots in competitions. And she would, as most of us would assume, okay, Scots are aggressive, therefore they must be the big competitors of the personality types. Yes and no. The no part has to do with our expression. Everyone does everything at one time or another. Key concept for the Wakefield Doctrine if you're going to use it and get fluent in it. Here comes Wakefield, by the way. Let's just get in the other lane. Christine must be loving this. We could go 60 miles an hour, Christine, and crash through it, and I could be yelling, hey, Christine made me drive fast, but I won't. So back to the concept of manifesting in a worldview. Everyone does everything at one time or another simply means that, let's use competition, competitiveness. That's a quality that all three worldviews, all three personality types have. It's how they manifest it, how it expresses in their particular worldview that the doctrine is all about. So let's take competitive Scots. Okay, they're aggressive. They will win at all costs. They will just go head to head. There's the clue. Rogers, they are very competitive, and they will like to compete and like to win. Clarks are competitive secretly, so we'll come back to them. But the difference between a Scot and a Roger in terms of how they manifest competitiveness is probably the most useful illustration of what I'm trying to get across today. Quick note: we're coming to the Rotary at Narragansett, which we also drive by on Saturday nights. I'm not going to have the time to go there, but there's a sign that proves where I am. So let's rotorize the Rotary and get back on the road. Where was I? Manifesting. Difference between a Roger and a Scot. All right, so you know that they both are competitive. So how do you tell the difference? When you have a person, you don't know the worldview, but you see an example of them on the playing field. I'm using that in the broadest general way. The answer is you go up to a higher level of the personality type. And by that I mean we have general characteristics and we have more and more specific characteristics. And one of the broadest and the highest level characteristics of a Roger is that they take everything personally, on a personal level. So I would go then to look to the two competitors on the field and see which one kicks themselves in the head for losing and then wants to win at all costs because of how they feel it reflects on them. There's your Rogerian competitor. A Scot is the one that's going to get into a fight, lose several teeth, and then offer to buy a beer for the guys on the other team. So that, Janae, is how everyone does everything at one time or another. The example comes up also, you talk about jobs. Hey, that's a job, I bet you that's a Scotian job. Yeah, but no. Everything applies to all three. Your challenge is to look to how that person, you do it in either direction. You either know how a person would manifest it, and then you could identify the personality type on the basis of how they're doing a job, or how they're relating to the job once again. Or you can do it in the other direction and look at somebody, say a finished carpenter. Good example. I first bet is a Roger, because a finished carpenter normally is associated with a person who is very meticulous, detail-oriented, comfortable with taking forever to do a simple task, as opposed to a Clark or a Scott. So you would tend towards a Roger in that call. So that's the matter of manifesting. So you've got your three world views. You've got a existence full of activities and interests and jobs and professions and all of that stuff. None are the exclusive domain of any of the three. They're all among everyone. All right, topic 2. And well, we hurry up because we're oh shit. I'm gonna cut here. Cut.